and gentlemen, and welcome to the Intel Esports Arena, where it is our pleasure to be bringing you the qualifiers for IEM Oakland, North America. My name is Blue. Joining me here is going to be James IRL for the day. How you doing, man?
Great. Excited to be here.
Yeah.
Looking forward to some of these funny matchups. Haven't seen some of these teams play each other, or even some of these players on a long time on this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first one right off the bat is going to be Torqued, obviously, who has Steel on it. And it looks like we're diving right into the action here as the pistol round is pretty much ready to go, folks. So OpTic is going to be taking on Torqued to start things off here. And OpTic, well, they're going to be going on to the T side. Torqued is going to be jumping over to the CT side to start things off. And we are going to be on cash to start off this best of 3 that we should mention, ladies and gentlemen. It is a single elimination tournament, so let's dive right into it. 4 shot off the bat, but he's unfortunately not going to be able to last very long. Over peaks connector just a tad there. And that is going to allow Mixwell to kind of run him over. They're not playing that usual retake setup that we often see CTs utilize on this map either, but nice shot from HUC. Swings out for a second. The smoke helps, and now Steel comes back in from A main. We do see a trade finally from HS, but it means very little as Monty picked up that other kill, and Steel finishes the job from A main.
I mean, HUC showing right there why he is the meme as him being the best player in the world, right? No, but more seriously, he played that really well, and it just shows Torque to have, you know, the discipline to come back in a 4v5 when OpTic have a lot of map control.
Yeah, absolutely. So good start for Torque, getting that pistol under their control. OpTic struggling just a tad, but obviously still plenty of time to recover here for them.
Ford Eagles.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of fun here in the second round, and they are going to spread out too, so they're going to look for options across the map. Doesn't really look like Torqued is playing too aggressively, however, maybe like a little bit at mid. Besides that, they're sitting back pretty safe for this round, as I think they expect something aggressive this time. I
like how they have 3 kits. I like how they have full utility on one of the guys at each site, and it does not matter. HS getting just that.
Sneaks in for the kill on Monty here, and now TCK is left alone to defend on this site right now. Reinforcements arrive just in time too. The Molly's in that great position too. There's that utility they were talking about before, and now they isolate the rest of this hit. One player goes down, but likely that will more than likely end up being the only player unless Mixwell hits some banger shots here. He's going to miss those first 2 there, and now they know where he's at, so it's just a matter of boxing him out and taking him down, as he's going to be stuck in this A site with nowhere to run. Should go down in a moment here. We'll see. Like I said, he's still looking for a deagle on it, but finally does run out of ammo there, and Steel once again finishes it off.
I feel like that round could have gone like the opposite way based on like a knife's edge of like results.
Yeah.
Right? Like you saw HS, I think he was going for that second headshot jiggling tree, but since the Molly was headshot blocking him off, he was barely missing his shots. I mean, wonder how close off that was from the RNG spread, baby. A
lot of really good factors come in for Torque there, and like just barely save them. Like we had the rotate in tree room just in time to distract the Molly coming back in there too that prevented the player on platform from going down. It was a really great reaction. It was close, but it was really well timed for Torque and allowed them to save most of their players there. That obviously had to use way more utility to make sure that they got the job done cleanly, but they do indeed do it with only 1 loss.
So this is like basically like going in or on train. Right? Like this is kind of like the canonical, I'm going to get the bomb down strat. It's called the door pop. So the first 2 guys are jumping out literally 1 full second before the flash even pops. Right? Because they want the CTs to guarantee to have to look at least 1 flash. Right? So it's all designed just to get the bomb down, which is what happens. And they actually got a kill. So pretty successful round there for OpTic.
Yeah, do get it done. Unfortunately, no kills there, as we did see Freiberg attempting to pull off that 1 flank. Not going to happen, so Torque in a nice clean 3-0 start here. I think only losing 2 players in their anti-eco, so it should be a pretty good money build up here. They should have a decent amount of excess. 3 rifles already here too, and you can see the money, assuming they don't upgrade those FAMASas, which I don't really know why they would do that at this point in time. They're still going to have quite a bit of money left over to rebuy, should OpTic win this first gun round though.
Something to take note, I'm not going to go too long into it though, but these teams play each other pretty often the last few weeks, so just look for kind of like mind gamey type plays.
Yeah. Well, for OpTic's first gun round, it is going to start off pretty standard again, but Halu right out into the open, and it's almost a full connection for a kill too, which is just a little bit off the mark there, so the risk is not going to be giving him any reward at this time. The CTs will start to get aggressive here too. This will be interesting. A nice little run boost over to the top, if they can get it going, that is. I think that took too long. That, and they gave their position away with the sound, potentially. So they did decide to call that one off and back up to the site.
I mean, that's a super gutsy play, right?
Yeah.
First gun round. I guess it's cool because it's kind of a bonus round, right? Like a lot of FAMASas and MP9. I think it was supposed to be 8. I'm not sure who was going up. It looked like somebody with a FAMAS. But it's also good to do it early on in the half. But it looks like it's going to be OpTic getting mid-control here. Let's see how they audible out of this, right? So it's going to be just getting that kill from Squeaky onto A2Z. And who is that in A main? 4 shot alone inside A main with a flash and a nade.
It's like really deep inside of A main though.
Yeah, he's at lockers, and they're probably aware because there's probably been a flashbang, and yeah, it's going to be all up to him gambling towards B.
Freiburg knocks him out very quickly, and that does isolate the A site. As you can see, Mixwell has already pushed up in towards the E-box on the site, and they're going to smoke off Truck just so that he can push up even more so. Well, there are still 3 remaining for Torque. Ooh, great flash, actually. Their odds still on Torque are not going to be that great due to the control that OpTic now have. However, they didn't check highway, or they didn't leave someone highway for some reason, so Steel is going to be allowed to walk right in. And now goes in for a second kill, and a third now on Steel. Goes massive here. Unfortunately, fails to check inside of A main, but now Monty, he's going to trade out this kill too, so it's on Freiburg, and he's pinned, stuck inside of A main, going to try to hold, but he gets that first kill. It's a little bit miscoordinated as these last 2 from Torque do move in with the Molly. He's in a great position. TCK not jumping onto the bomb, though, staying out in the open. He was hoping Freiburg would peek that. He does have a kit, mind you, and he could have full diffused right there, but chose not to. Instead, was hoping he would get the battle versus Freiburg. He's going to get it, but it's Freiburg that comes out on top and wins the first gun round for OpTic.
You know what? After the heroic play by Josh right there, Steel, I mean, it just hurts to lose like that, but as soon as you see him not stick it after the molly throw, you know an experienced player like Freiburg is never going to lose that. Like, it does not matter how much time left there is on the bomb. Freiburg just plays with him there at the end, gives him like the side of his shoulder. So annoying.
So that is going to give OpTic their first round off of a big play from Freiburg. Great play from Steel too, just wasn't enough to clutch the entire round there. Brought it down to 1, and he held the line. That's what's going to keep OpTic in control for right now. But obviously, Torque still have plenty of cash to rebuy. So we go back into this double op setup, 3M4 sitting behind it too. Should deplete their money pretty quickly though with a heavy buy like that. We can see evidence of it. Their utility already being used quite a bit here. Down to just 2 resmokes and 1 molly sitting on TCK. And that's all they bring to the table for this round now.
I think the important thing here is if T's get mid control and push you out of mid, you want your Z rotator to have a flash, right? Like you don't want, like let's say you're stuck with 1 flash on 3 players at the end of the round on CT side, you want him to be between the 2 sites, right? So you could help either guy with it. So that's something to look for when teams are on low utility on CT side.
A little bit of spam goes off against A2Z there as he tries to play around boost. It's not going too well for him, so Freiburg is going to take it out. TCK caught looking the wrong way too, and it's just absolutely a massacre in mid in the favor of OpTic Gaming as they walk directly through it, now leaving only the 2 oppers alive, and they want nothing to do with his remaining fight. They're already falling back towards CT area, trying to save their guns for the next round. Mixwell, despite the low HP, I think he might know he's up against ops actually. He's going to go in with the flash. Won't find his mark there. He definitely should have seen the op in that fight. Now knows it missed too, but can't find a great angle to actually push out and kill him with that. Trying to bait him into another shot. There we go. That'll give him a little bit of an opportunity, but the second op does finally surprise. He's still going to hide behind the box for right now, but ultimately I think does decide it's better to back away here and just let these guns be saved.
Yeah, I mean, it just sucks to see it, right? Hard reset coming in here. Torque, especially if they lose both ops. And yeah, it's kind of a general rule of thumb to not try and hold mid after like a minute. Because teams, just, like if you know they have any chance of having more than 3 mollies and a bunch of flashes and smokes, most teams at this level are just going to decimate you coming out mid after the 1 minute mark. So I think that was a problem that round. Also that they didn't have an op trained on boost, right? So they have the ops at the sites, right? So you don't get that immediate kill, right? If you lose 1 guy immediately in the middle, the whole setup just collapses quick. And Torque looks like 2 nades and 1 flashbang here, so let's see what's up.
Oh, he's going to make this attempt again, and this time it's a success as he takes down Steel. And this time the other one, and that will leave it open for Monty to move in and take him down. It's a very small token that Monty got that kill, though, as he's already been traded out. Now everyone else on Torque is dead, as OpTic just rush right through that round. They do lose Alu, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, this is when the game starts, right? CT's getting low economy on cash. This is when it starts to get rough. This is going to be hard. No ops. We're just going to see OpTic default them to death. I'd be very surprised if OpTic goes into anything fast here.
Yeah, now that they have control here too, it's not much of a reason to play around with anything too risky at this point. As long as their standards are working and Torque haven't been able to adjust properly yet, they can still play into their default style of play, which is going to be, well, running a default. As they spread their players across, looking for picks right now, just taking it nice and slow. Looking for an opening option again, and he might be able to get an opportunity at it too. Spots the peak as they toss it a smoke. He's not going to connect the shot this time. That will keep everybody held back. And Torque go for that aggressive A main play again. In fact, it is smoked off currently inside of A main. Despite that, as it has now expired, Steel is going to be pressured inside. However, now he realizes it may be the time to back away, but it's too late. Magisk is already going to be able to take him down, and in the meanwhile, Great control being taken here by the rest of OpTic too, going up mid, executing A2Z in his attempt to fall back outside of the site. Great timing by OpTic here, and Torque continued to just bite right into it.
It's like clockwork. I mean, if you were to rewatch that round slowly and just see how everything develops, it's actually pretty impressive that OpTic made it all come together. I mean, it looks very simple and like, oh, that should be easy to do, but to coordinate that with fighting against CTs, like, I'm pretty impressed.
Timing again here too, just as 4Shot was about to come up and potentially take down someone like Mixwell, who's holding close to Truck. The molly goes on the ground. Additional nades are going to send him back too. And they're hunting for additional players here. Freiberg with a nice lineup. Great transfer. Just not going to be having enough time to deal the extra damage to Monty to knock him out. So only knocks out about a quarter of his HP. And now he's going to sit in the corner. Will Magist expect this, however, as he's going to push in and try to execute. Looks like he's trying to check down there. So he realizes he's there and will be successful in knocking out Monty. Just 4Shot left alive here now, and he's trying to survive with 2 HP. Lines up for Mixwell.
I think he just hit Magus there.
Yeah, I think he spammed him.
Oh, man. If he survives this, there's no way.
Yeah, it was pretty much doomed to happen anyway. 3 chances.
2 health.
Yeah, 3 chances to hit him just once. I'm pretty sure he's going to die at some point there.
Ooh.
A little disconnect.
Steal.
It's probably just changing his crosshair or something like that. It's fine.
Changing his crosshair? You don't have to disconnect for that?
Well, sorry, not his crosshair. It's probably bad. I don't know. Something that you have to disconnect.
So I recently got a 240 hertz monitor.
Yeah.
And this has nothing to do with sponsors or anything. It's just me, got one.
Could
be any company.
A non-denominational 240 hertz monitor.
This has no gender. And every so often when I load up CS, there's like this weird like screen tear, like a persistent one that's vertical across the whole screen.
Yeah.
And the only way to fix it is to close CS and reopen it, not by switching res.
I haven't had that issue yet.
So, Steel, I see you.
I also have a non-denominational 240 hertz monitor. So.
Nice, man. Good life choices, YOLO.
Well, the pause is concluded. Like I said, it looks like it was just something quick to restart client or whatever. So we're back into it already. It's going to be a full save. We do have a nade stack too. This one, unfortunately, is going to be a little bit off the mark. So not a whole lot getting done. And they do fire back with a little bit of damage going on a 4-shot there. Now they're just
What's that nade? That nade was way too high. I love, like, they throw 4 good nades in one battle and then pick up the battle.
There's always the oddball out.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't be right without that. Just nicely done. He has to go hunting for it, but he does catch the head of Monty very quickly. Torqued already down to just 2 players, too. And they're on the wrong side of the site. OpTic has already walked into A, has gotten full control there. So the round is pretty much over here, unless we see some real magic from A2Z. It should be 5-3 here in the favor of OpTic Gaming, as they're now running 5 rounds straight after Torque picked up a pistol in the following rounds after. Was that a nice little shot there? What was that through?
A white box.
Oh, nicely done.
Have you ever seen somebody successfully spam through the back of A main? There's like a clip of Swag doing it. Like he spams from middle
like the
into
garage?
the A main wall.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I've never seen someone like that successfully do that. When they have, they've done like 20 damage. Oh. There we go. There's one for Alu. Taking out A2Z, and now just Steel. So look there. Mixwell does see the peek from Useless Room coming, and OpTic take control of their 5th here now. Torque are about to rebuy though, so they're going to come back into this one, and they can have double op again, I believe, if they want to try to risk it.
Yeah, I mean, Torqued, if they get 6 rounds this half without string, like they're going to have to string multiple rounds together, right? Like if they just get like 1 here and then lose, it's just, I mean, look at OpTic's money. They're going to be able to buy for at least 3 or 4 more rounds.
Especially if they only win this round with like 1 or 2 people left alive too, as we so often see.
Oh man.
Don't peek that.
And Alu gets across.
Yeah.
And he does not have anyone in checkers. So he has somebody in Beth though.
Alu's on a roll right now, so it's not be an advisable peek, but 4Shot makes it work as HS does end up swinging out there. So they don't suspect the op to be in that position, and they're going to start off with the first kill in their favor. Steel also comes out on top with his op, catches Mixwell, I think trying to push out from Squeaky. So he's going to be able to take him down. Freiberg is waiting for the push to come back in. The flash goes out. It's great. Completely blinds the player on the platform. The problem is there's a second player in Vents waiting this one out. He's going to move in and strike quickly. Trade comes back in from Freiberg, and he picks up a second kill too. Beautifully done by Freiberg again as he once more recovers for his team, keeping them in these rounds. Still at a disadvantage, though, as they're down a player currently, 2v3. But they will have control over the B site and should have enough room to plant here.
That was actually genius by Freiberg. The fact that he, like, quick peeked all the way across the angle after the opera got flashed and then kept walking and didn't make a noise, so he caught the guy in checkers by surprise.
Freiberg's going to be caught by surprise here. 2 players walk into checkers, but he manages both of them with ease. Now on the cusp of a potential ace. Just has to take down Steel to make it a reality here. And Steel may not even challenge this. Definitely not going to challenge it now as he's been flashed out. He's going to go for a quick re-peek inside to see if he can at the very least take down Freiburg. But in terms of a retake, no way is that happening. Exits are his best bet at this point. So he wraps back out and he'll look for the challenge. Won't find him there since he's safely tucked away behind the right corner. And now, when presented with an opportunity, he's fired just a little bit too quickly. He's going to smoke himself up so he can stay safe. That bomb won't do that much damage to him, so he's good. We'll deny the ace for Freiburg, but still, one around from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's so hot right now. Like, that clutch, right? And then that.
I mean, like I said, he kind of like single-handedly.
Like it could have been very easily that he got the kill on the operant site, and then he dies the guy checkers if he makes any different decision that round and/or misses any shots.
He's that's the second round now, I believe, where he's like single-handedly pulled his team back from a pretty bad situation there. So really well done so far by Freiburg as he's continued to find the impact for his team. Torqued. Well, they'll once again find themselves in a pretty poor situation economically here, as they're just going to end up with pistol armor for a majority of their players, and then just an up and an up. Obviously, they got safe on the last round.
Yeah, I mean, that's mentally so rough to go through. 5v3 to losing that round. Like, that's one of those things where it just takes the wind out of your sails. And unless we can see those PT50s getting those close-up angle headshots, then I think we're going to see more of the same here, Blue.
And here comes the fake now from Magisk. We're actually going to pull rotates too. Monty, even with Monty getting that kill, they'll now go back into the site. Monty thankfully did find that kills, otherwise that could have been bad news. Magisk, though, moving in. They don't even suspect to have a player out this early. There's a nice trade from A2Z at the very least, so that will keep the op alive here. But A2Z chooses not to pick that up. He's actually going to go for the AK instead. And now Freiburg moves in. Volley positioning was great. Got Monty into the open, so takes him down. Nice bailout for Mixwell there, too. Freiburg was in a bit of a pinch. He's able to keep him alive. And now Mixwell can swing out, get his second kill on this round. Only A2Z here. Unfortunately, here rise to the A-bomb site. Excuse me, the B-bomb site just a little bit too late. And he will have to back away to save. Pick up that op along the way.
Yeah, I mean, OpTic are just hitting shots. That's basically it, right? Like, I mean, Torqued had a chance into that round, but May just made a nice individual lurk play. Right, completely cut off the A rotators.
Yep.
That round could have been completely different if May just had gotten 1-for-1 there.
So now we just have A2Z sitting back, trying to save, and for OpTic, they're going to continue to push forward. And like you said, it's pretty simple for OpTic at this point, as they're just going in with these straightforward executes. They had to get a little fancy that one with the slight fake that ended up working pretty well. Since at the very least, they've got quite a few players from Torqued out into the open on the B-bomb site, made them easier to take down. Not only that, too, but as you mentioned, just to go in and lurk on his own to cut off quite a few of the rotators there. But 7-3, and this has been a straight 7-round streak from OpTic, so I would not be surprised if we see a tack pause from Torque in the next round or two here.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of want it soon, but actually, I would be taking the tack. I don't know what the rules are in this tournament. It's probably like, what, like 4 seconds?
Most of these online qualifiers just use like the 1 pause per half, 2-minute thing.
Just once? Wow.
Per half.
Interesting.
So you can choose.
Yeah, I think now is the time, or it was last round.
Basically.
Double op again.
Yeah. Hasn't worked too well for them previously.
Well, it did, but like then, right? It was 5v3.
Yeah.
Didn't really have a chance to work.
Well, quickly smoking off outside of B. They're pretty much just ready for B pressure to work its way into the site relatively quickly now, as that's been the game they've been playing towards.
I think OpTic's getting a definite read on this too, because they're not taking too much pressure. And it's always from vent, right? It's never from back checker, it's never from snacks. And whenever they hear that op ring up from the B site, they can just kind of deduce it. Setup. A2Z catches Alu off guard there, so Torqued having a man advantage late in the round for the first time in a while here. A2Z is not going to get away. That was a little bit ambitious there. And here's OpTic coming back into the round here. Freiburg taking map control, and you can just tell he's feeling himself right now. Just the confidence in his movement brimming. And he's going to wide swing truck here. Still, you're going to die. Monty's in a great spot, though. See if he can get 2. And this is going to be a rough clutch attempt for 4-shot, though he is quite close at Z, and he can hold the cross. So he's going to hold the cross and walk out.
4-shot now creeps up and finds him right in the open, so very well done actually by 4-shot. He's even going to have time to run back and pick up the op as he gets a nice easy clutch against Magisk. Catches him trying to move over towards a new position, and now that will be Torque finally putting up another round here. And it's on a team ace too, so not bad. Finally, they go up here 4-7 as we go into the closing rounds of the half now.
2 things. Team aces are great, makes you feel good. Second thing, probably at this point in the half, nobody even mentions it because, you know, they're trying to get rounds. They're not like, oh, team ace, good job, guys. And now there's a huge reset potential, right? So come on, Torqued. Big round right here. This round is pivotal for Torque.
Fourshot's going to keep the op as well, so he's going to play with that for right now. Focus up towards B again, which is not too much of a surprise. They're basically just going to set up a retake for now on A in the event that OpTic try to quickly rush over towards there. But OpTic have definitely been favoring the B site throughout the majority of this half so far. So it's not misguided at all for Torque to try and have their players relatively close to that site and ready to rotate over and get ready for a retake if need be. Now in comes OpTic. Fourshot's going to start it off with the first one on his own. Great flashbang from TCK to cover himself as he picks up the second. He goes down after that. Now Monty rotates in, picks up another one, but he's also going to go down to Alu, leaving this down to a 3v2. Still favored for Torque right now. Fourshot is in trouble, however, and it'll be Freiburg that pushes up. Unfortunately, he was quick on the draw this time, so he'll quickly be traded out by Steel, leaving only Alu to fend for himself here. But he has plenty of time, a minute left on the clock still. Try and plant this bomb on the ground. Just has to find the positions to be able to make a 1v2 work, as now he's checking his surroundings, looking for an opportunity to evacuate, and it looks like he might actually do the roundabout here to head over towards A.
This is so grossly smart. It's almost sad to see it. Like, you can already see what's playing out right here because they want to stay together, right? Like, the fact that he could have an op, right? It's Alu. They never know. And the fact that he didn't make a noise. Oh, this is rough. Come on.
They have no clue yet either.
I mean, this is going to be fun to watch, right? It's always interesting to see how people play a clutch where both people are in disinformation, right?
So now they just realized it. I only just now realized it too. It's gone when we went to their perspective, but when we were looking at the minimap there, they had re-smoked tree room, so they didn't have vision inside for I think the good like 20 seconds in there, and that's why he gets away without anybody rotating over. But Alu has put himself in a bad position. This is the problem. Look, they have 2 mollies, so they can easily get him out of this position and take him down there. So thankfully, Torque saved plenty of utility on A2Z and Steel, and they make that job that much easier as a result of Alu picking that spot. But if Alu played a more unconventional position, probably would have had a better time of being able to clutch that. I think it just made himself a little bit too predictable on the site there.
Yeah, I think it was kind of going back to a thing where, like, Alu also doesn't know that both guys are stayed at B, so when he plants the bomb, he can't mentally justify, like, full running and B-hopping away from the site and getting a sick position, right? Because you never know if the guy's just holding across from Z, right? He could have left 5 minutes ago from B, and or 5 seconds ago, and just holding it the whole time.
Getting into the next round here now. It was another teammates, by the way, from Torque. 2 in a row. Now Alu's going to quickly swing out through upper. He does take a lot of molly damage along the way, but he knows where one of these players is at, so he's going to be able to line up the shot. Very well done against A2Z there, taking him down, giving OpTic a bit of an advantage to play off of early on here. And once again, finding that early mid control too. Steel, he's going to swing in, however, and get the quick trade. Now takes down Freiburg. And brings it down to a 4v4.
There's nobody at A. Nobody at A for Torque, so I like this gamble setup here. Sometimes you just got to do it. It looks like it might pay off, just given where the teams are gone.
The HS goes in. He had a great opportunity to kill the player peeking out from tree room. Fourshot would have been a dead man right there. Unfortunately, he didn't have his gun at the ready, but on moving in, both Mixwell and HS hit their entries, knocking out those 2 players. They spot another one of Heaven too, so on the repeat there, Monty is going to get taken down pretty quickly. Steel now sits alone. They know where he's at. They cornered him here too. He's going to be able to line up a shot against Mixwell at the very least, but with 15 HP. What can he do? Not much, as Magisk will take him down, securing the lead for OpTic coming out of this first half.
What do you do here? So next round you get rifles if you full save. And this is hard to decide, right? So it's like a low chance at a 9-6 or an even lower chance at 10-5, right? So what do you do?
Looks like a full save for now.
Yeah, that's the Josh Nissan pick right there, right?
Yeah.
The arguably smarter, more mathematically sound pick, and he'll tell you about it.
So with them deciding to go for this full save here, they're also going to pretty much gamble stack mid, just assuming that OpTic will send at least 1 or 2 players into mid to try and get some control there. They're right to assume that, as there is some lurking presence towards mid. How much of it's actually going to end up out in the open, though, is still in the air. Hopefully they've kept the majority of these players on the highway, so they're also interchangeable on the A site. It's just from within the A site, more than likely we can expect it to get smoked. It's not going to be as easily defended here, those smokes in play. The flashes are good initially. This is going to put Freiburg into the corner. He flashes himself a little bit there, though, so he does have to turn away. And now they call it the siren call, and there you go. 4 quick kills from OpTic. No trades back in the other direction until Fourshot anyway. And then Alu takes him down pretty quickly after that.
That was pretty funny. I always hate getting double dinked by USP when I have an AK. You just feel like he's got dominated. Yeah, it's the worst way possible. And here we go. OpTic with a solid anti-eco round. I think they've seen Torque do that same like flash from A site with 3 guys highway and 1 guy Z before, so I don't think it was too surprising. Still a decent strat regardless, because you can just find yourself in mid.
And
it's also right here from OpTic.
Already have Alu going over the top again. He gets that nice little entry once more. More of an opener than an entry, but still goes in, gets the kill on A2Z anyway. A little bit of nade damage being hit on the Freiburg there. As I think they threw 2 nades actually into mid in order to hit him. So he gets brought down to about 2/3 of his HP. And now OpTic will get ready to send the rest of the players into the site. Steel trying to play aggressively this time. The problem is he does corner himself out, especially to A main. Actually very surprised they let him go back into NBK corner here. Flashbang goes out. A good readjustment of positioning, but Steel just can't catch a break here. Ends up backing up into a molly, takes another 8 damage or so. He goes down to 19 here now, so has to try and hold himself off. More mollies are going to start to roll in, and Steel, despite being as low as he is, takes a risk, and it pays off. He's actually able to go in and get a 1-for-1 trade there, as Magisk is going to take him down on the retreat. Now, though, that does leave the site relatively open with no one else sitting in to defend it. Just the rotators are trying to retake, essentially, at this point, and one is in B halls currently. So Monty still has to rotate pretty much all the way around the map to get into a position to retake here. They're going to attempt it because it's round 15, but the odds are very much stacked against them here.
Yeah, this is going to be work cut out for them here with 4-shot. No nades from FAMAS. We did see Steel coming from the same position earlier on in the half, getting the 3 headshots with the FAMAS, so you never know what could happen.
Thought he could do it again.
Double quad, 1 shroud, 1 4.
4 shots going to be up on top here, pushing back in. He does find the one right below the boost spot. HS and Magisk quickly trade those 2 kills out, though, and it does become a 10-5 advantage for OpTic Gaming coming out of the first half.
And Torqued won the pistol round, right?
Yep, that's correct.
And both ensuing anti-ecos?
Yep, they didn't get ecoed in the second round, so they got it. They had the 3-0 start to begin this map, and unfortunately we're only able to win like 2 real gun rounds after that. Pretty poor showing on their CT side
They
overall.
are stronger on their T side, though. I think last time they played OpTic on this map, I think they got at least 6 rounds on their T side. Could be wrong. T-sided map, though, in general, if you have a good IGL and good teamwork.
Well, they're going to need 11.
Yeah.
So let's hope it's a little bit better.
You never know.
You never know, indeed.
But it seems like I don't really see anyone on OpTic not really playing up to their abilities today, right?
No, they seem very on point today, actually. Even for like this matchup too, so.
Like Freiburg especially. I mean, I don't mean to keep harping on somebody's name, but it's just fun to watch, right? You just know when somebody's on point.
For me, it's been primarily Freiburg, Magisk, and especially like late round situation. Magisk has been pretty good at making sure that he kind of cleans up shop, and Alu as well when it comes to like these early round kills, making sure that he secures like 5v4s for this team. Oh, look at this, a little bit of aggression coming out from OpTic. Now they jump onto the CT side. It's going to work initially. They got to be careful of a trade, though, as HS is very low after that fight, down to 9 HP. The rest of Torque getting ready to execute into this A site, despite losing a player here a few seconds ago. 2-2 split, 2 from A main, 2 coming out of the, actually no, excuse me, 3 coming out of Squeaky. HS, despite the low HP, able to knock out another one, and another one. He's up to 3 for this round. Finally goes down to Monty, who actually trades out 2 kills here now, taking out HS and Alu, leaving only Magisk, Freiburg, and Mixwell in the fight here, and Magisk is down at 1 HP too, so he's got to be very careful. The A-main flank completes itself as Freiburg's going to be in position, but they pretty much expected this. Monty is going to be already there watching for this kind of maneuver. And OpTic actually looks like they're backing up a little bit here, trying to reposition themselves so they can kind of move in better angles and retake this a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I think HS just basically got his whole contract just paid for by the sheer value of his pistol guns. How does that work? What is happening right now?
A2Z gets a second kill and now sits alone in a 1v2 here on the site. That's the problem, is Monty did end up moving out. He's going to make a mad dash to the B bomb site. Knows that they were surrounded, so decides to fight out of the arena and instead heads over to the B site. The plant will go in. It's going to be in the open, but Freiburg decided not to push directly into the site. However, on going down, Monty looked like he actually pushed over towards Freiburg here. So it's an open brawl for the win, and Monty comes out on top, giving Torque their second pistol.
Oh, man, you know what was funny was watching that as I was seeing him run down highway, and I was like, oh, he has a smoke and a kit, right? And we saw the other day, I think it was Kusta defuse while spinning on a bomb on pistol.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to kill somebody who has a kit if they're spinning and possibly if they have a smoke on pistol round. So I was scared of that. Monty stepping up there. Keeping this match interesting, baby. And Monty also the only person in double figures on Torqued. You know, it's all about stats, right?
Yeah, in a way. These matches, anyway, might be.
These?
What? Well, we've got Torque getting ready to go out onto the site now. OpTic with a pretty usual second round response here. 3 players buying up armor, and I think everybody except for Majis going for a deagle buy there too. So they're gonna look to see if they can pop up some heads early on. Oh, Mixwell, not only him too, Mixwell and HS pushing back B halls, so they know for sure it's going to be an A hit. It's just a matter of trying to defend it or delay it if potentially possible. 4-shot though stops that from happening with a quick push inside. He's gonna get a double. Gonna make it a triple in a second if he can find that player in the smoke, but he kills himself. Walks into the flames from Monty there. That will lead to the elimination of Alu, and these last 2 coming in on the flank are not going to be much, as Torque seems to have already suspected this, so they should be able to box this out pretty easily and secure the 7th round for themselves. There you go.
I thought there was going to be more casualties than that, to be honest.
No, I thought so too, but the A team didn't end up holding so well there.
It's happening. It's happening. 1 round at a time.
Well, I mean, it'll be 10-8 at least. It's just.
So you said they needed 11. That's 2. So they need 9.
Factually speaking, yes, they need 11 rounds to win the game.
The other team needs 6. So it's not that far off, right?
Yeah.
They're on the more favored side.
Yeah, they're getting there. Well, it'll be all default pistols this time for OpTic. This should be an easy A for Torqued.
It's kind of like the one on the cobble ramp.
This one right here with the
CTs?
CTs?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Whoa. Yeah, look at that. That's a very interesting stack. They all seem to have like their own positions and stuff too.
And angles.
But it's not going to be much, as Torque completely avoid mid, which means it's now going to be a mad rush from OpTic up highway. Now, Torque did smoke themselves out for being able to shoot at that. That's the only issue here with Torque right now. It does let OpTic get a little bit of control. Torque know what's going on though. You can see him spamming through it, getting some good damage in. A2Z, great reaction, stops himself from getting taken down, at least until Vince fires in the smoke. And they do actually end up losing 2 players there, so take some casualties at the very least they need to make sure that they can hold on to this money simply because of their gun run record. Let's hope though on T side things are going to be a little bit cleaner, as it is indeed time for OpTic to get on the buy.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to go for here. They didn't have many SMGs into that round, I don't think. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, so they're not going to be able to go for a fast strat here. I wonder if OpTic's going to read that. So if we see a lot of pre-nades from OpTic, then that means that they think that Torque would do fast strat. And sure enough, there's a bunch of nades being thrown in mid.
A lot coming out of B halls. That should be enough to cause at least 1 player to rotate over here. Those go 2 to 3 nades at once.
So right now, Torque should be audibling this back. So I've heard that molly extinguish. Yeah, so they just did. They pushed it. So they would have pushed to the other door. Extinguish. Ali does not care.
Yeah, just makes a 2nd kill happen there too.
Ali
Nicely done.
Continues to not care.
How are those not Collat kills? I'm trying to figure out. Anyway, takes down 3 players with relative ease too. He hadn't even taken much damage until he takes that fight, and now he's about to ace. Just 1 more kill and he's got it. It's going to be against 4-shot. He's sitting on the boost-up box here now. And won't survive for that long either, as it seems Mixwell was waiting exactly for that smoke to fade to check those positions. Finishes it off, does deny the ace, but still, it's a team game, and OpTic will pull ahead of it now, 11-8.
As impressed as I am with Alu, I'm more impressed with Prius for getting that pop in that round. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't think I would have switched to the vent player during that.
He's over there doing work today. He's more than just our observer. He's our producer, too.
Yeah.
And our audio guy.
Multi-talented.
And our DJ, too. Technically, that's part of the audio guy's job.
You know how they say, like, jack of all trades, master of none? Maybe he's like a master of all trades, jack of none.
You have to talk to Sapphire about the master part on that title. It's a very hotly
Apprentice of one.
It's a very hotly contested thing. Oh, nice trade from TCK there. Keeping Torqued alive a little bit as they still try to fight this one out. OpTic, though, still very much have control, especially now that it's down to a 4v3. Mixwell, he's like, come on, back up a little bit more so I can kill you. Yeah, but Steel is going to be mollied outside of vents for the time being. As he has to wrap over towards the cubby to grab the bomb. It'll be safe to do that. OpTic have given up most of their presence in mids. They're going to let Torque take control here, and they will just split the remaining players 2-2 on either sides of the map.
So this is a good time to watch how Steel thinks. So 3v4, super important round. Have a decent amount of utility, 2 smokes, 2 mollies, 2 flashes, easy to say. Thank you for that. And they had a minute left on the clock once kind of the initial battle stopped. So what do you do? What information? So they don't really know what's going on. Double walk A main, and it looks like they're just going to commit. Maybe, so what they might do is smoke their cross and have Josh commit from highway first.
I don't think they're gonna expect Magisk up on top of Pistol, so it's really on Steel to get that kill, and he walks up here. Steel's probably gonna need to go in first. They do quickly execute Freiburg though, so that's the good news. But like I said, they don't find Magisk. Magisk ends up in a pretty, not so great situation to having to take that first kill though. Usually on like a full 5-man rush on A main, you see them waiting until the first couple players go out. Here comes the rotate though, and Steel wasn't expecting that to come out so quickly, so now it just ends up being 4-shot. Nice adjustment there as he does overpeak a little bit for HS, but still takes him down anyway. And now it's a 1v1 between Oppers, and Mixwell will come out on top, winning it for OpTic again.
So patient, man. Like, that's actually super impressive that Mixwell holds that angle the entire time. I mean, not much you can do there. I saw 4-shot winning that in basically like half of the alternate dimensions. So, Mixwell, good on you, mate. And Mixwell the first hit the 20 bomb here.
Good stuff from Mixwell as he's showing up now on this CT side. Clutch here. The rounds are definitely a little bit closer now. Not necessarily as dominant for OpTic. But we still have OpTic in control with their lead continuing to re-expand here after we saw Torque winning the first 3 again. That's the same thing, remember. They've yet to win a gun round in the second half. 6 out of 8 of the rounds were won off of pistols and anti-ecos so far.
I see you're making the case. After I came at you with the 9-6 last time, they need 9 more rounds. And
keep people in the loop.
Yeah, Torque's economy is basically on a cliff right here. If they lose this round, they're done. They're not going to be able to buy again until buy hard again until round 15.
Yeah, then they got to win. What was that, like 7 straight at that point, just to tie it? I think? now we're just having fun. But yeah, that's going to put Torque into pretty much an unwinnable situation. Thankfully, though, it is a best of 3, so teams are not going to be immediately knocked out here by any means in the round of 8.
So it looks like cross smokes, molly into vent, fake B, go A. Except for the HS doesn't get information.
HS with the dirty molly that goes in the side there. So just when they were getting ready to potentially execute past that smoke and mid, Azen uses the molly to deny that. Now Mixwell's going to get the pressure on him though. Molly against him too. Really trying to hit this shot, but nothing being found right now. Finally presented with a good opportunity up close. Now goes in, tries to go for a second. They didn't realize that there's a player up close. Uses the nade as a temporary wall, and it works actually. He gets a kill on 4-shot. And as the cavalry arrives, so comes in the shutdown. Only Mixwell ends up dying, which is probably the most surprising part for me out of that whole situation.
Wow, Mixwell, the antics to stay alive. I love it. That was actually really impressive.
The fact that he survives for as long as he does is very impressive there.
With an op too, right? Like, it's not like he had a fast movement speed.
So Mixwell's on a roll. Even makes a double kill happen there in that round too, as he kills the one with the op shot. Took him a while to get that op shot, but he did hit it, and then he gets one with a nade towards the end. He threw that wall nade down to try and block people off from pushing into checkers against him, and it did work too. Bought him extra 2-3 seconds there right at the end. Looks like he might have to repeat the same feat, however, as there is a big push. This time, the op shot rings true, and there's a CT flashbang almost immediately after the push is spotted to support from HS. Nicely done. Buys time for Mixwell to get in position, for Aldu to come back in on the rotate here and support a little bit better. 4-shot will trade for 1, tries to get a second, will not make it happen, and OpTic shut down this second round, pushing up to 14. Just 2 more to go, and they'll control map number 1.
Yeah, they're just feeding Mixwell at this point. I think there might be some kind of like gentleman's agreement. Like oh wait, I didn't mean to say anything. Oh, what do you do, Torqued? What do you do? So they got the op. They got a lot of utilities, so probably not a fast play here. Looks like it's probably going to be something like mid-pick based or late round mid control.
This one last big gun round they need to get past here, and then Torque will be broken again, or they'll end up on a force buy for the 15th round for OpTic. And it's just about getting past that, which we've seen OpTic do plenty of times so far in this map, so I wouldn't believe there'd be too much of a struggle there. Mixwell moving in, though. He's going to be able to find 4-shot, as now he gets aggressive. He's tired of all these pushes coming against him, so he will push forward, get one for himself, and he almost lines up that second one. Player is lucky. I believe it was Steel that ends up getting past that shot there, ends up jumping over it there.
Yeah, Mixwell's on point right now. He's reading the situations really well, which is what you have to do with the op, right? Like, he just... he knows that if he steps forward from checkers and like crouch walks out right there, it's really hard to see him. And he knew the op was there based on the flash pattern. Like an AK just doesn't do that.
Freiburg will be next. HS went back a little bit faster there. He ends up almost burning alive as a Molotov. Freiburg, nice little spam for himself. He's going to be able to get one against Steel. The flash over top. ATC sees that though, so he dodges it, gets himself inside of the mini pit. Now away from the action for the time being. TCK, though, is going to look for a kill, but he's almost countered out. In fact, HS does do the job, knocks out both of those players. Monty with a Hail Mary nade, trying to find someone on that A site, but no success. And now he is left alone without the bomb to play with. Push past mid. See if he can make something happen here to try and retrieve this bomb. He does see the cross from Magis going inside a mini pit, but still will get taken down. And there you have it. OpTic up to 15 rounds. Torque's economy pretty much in the dumpster here. They're going to end up with a pretty, kind of like a half-buy situation as they force into this round. You can see it. A couple AKs, spread utility for players that ended up downgrading to either a Galil or an Ump, but those that bought AKs really won't have anything to support that buy besides armor.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I remember from that round is Mixel being ham, and also HS at Sandbag there showing just beautiful use of utility. That was actually really well done.
A quick default again here from Torqued. 4-shot looking like he was actually pretty much ready to go into the site when he pushed an aim in originally, so I'm not going to be too surprised if we see a pretty fast lineup for an execute here. They've got everybody in A main too, and yep, it looks like they're going to attempt this relatively quickly. OpTic sitting still very spread out across the map. This could leave an opportunity open for Torque to come out on top finally, and it's Steel with 2 entries. Alu will trade, however, but he can't get anything else going due to the smoke block and good positions that have been established by the remaining members of Torque. So really well done there. Good timing on that. They just speed up the execute a little bit. However, Alu is going to try to stop this as he moves in. Catches the peek from A main. It's mistimed a little bit. So Alu is now presented with an opportunity immediately to catch that kill. Now he's dropped down very low to 11 HP. He's basically going to be stuck here on Forklift, but it's an even battle now. Now it's in the favor of OpTic as they bring it back. Alu nets his 3rd kill on the round. As they move in, finally another trade from Torque, but that's quickly going to be put down by Mixwell. 4-shot out into the open, though. Brings it down to another 1v1. Mixwell's going to jump forward. The flash will not be too successful. He's going to be out of time anyway, but 4-shot will take him down just to finish it off. Over 4-shot. Oh, just barely made it out of the round.
I mean, that was super disciplined post plant by Torque. That was not easy. Almost all of them, all the CTs knew where the Ts were pretty early on there. Steel with a double entry on the UMP. That's an IGL I could get behind right there. I mean, he's going in first. He's taking the worst guns.
Making things
doing
happen.
It well.
Well, that's not going to break OpTic anytime soon here. As we can see, they have no problem rebuying into this round at all. They don't go for a double op setup or anything crazy like that. Actually, no, excuse me, they do. As Alu is going to be able to pick up the secondary op this time, and Mixwell goes back to the op himself. Torqued. They'll get ready to pop over the top here, see if they can swing themselves into the site. Probably very mid. Oh, Alu.
Jeez.
Jesus, just continues to hit those shots there. A quick swing to the head of Steel, and now he's dead.
Right, like that flash isn't even designed to full blind him. It's designed just to like force him to either get partially blind or get off the angle. It's just like, what do you do about that?
Well, Torque to completely give up their mid presence as a result of that. Everybody just goes inside of A main now. We'll see if they decide to sit here and execute. Wow, that's perfect timing on that nade, too. That easily does 75 damage or so total. Now as they move in, A2Z gets 1 entry, but that's the only entry so far that we've seen. TCK getting knocked out besides that. They catch 4-shot jumping back to a different position. And Monty now as the last man standing, not looking so hot here in the 1v4, but we'll see what he can do. Gets 1, gets very close to a number 2, but does not make it happen. OpTic will shut it down, and off of that, they'll be able to take control here of map number 1 going up in the series, starting themselves off nicely here.
Wow, I mean, OpTic just hitting full stride individually as well as teamwork. It's just really pretty to see. It's kind of like that nade there at the end of A main. Like, it was just like, hey, here's the scope, let's nade, and they just completely wrecked them. Yeah. So I don't know what the second map is. That was obviously OpTic's pick, or was that Torque's pick?
I'm going to assume that was OpTic's pick, but we can double check that while we're on the break.
I think OpTic is aware that Torque liked to play Inferno, so I'm excited to see what the next map is. Yeah,
and we're going to be jumping into that, guys, in just a couple of moments here, so do stick with us. And when we do return, and I'm going to say, it's really up to the players when they're ready up, but I'm going to say in about like 5 minutes or so, we should be ready with the next map, and we'll jump into it. Continuing the series, we'll get to see if Torque can recover or if OpTic will bounce back.